Hi, I'm Dennis.
And hi, I'm Wes.
And welcome back to Petrol Station, your one-stop shop for two dads and flip-flops. You didn't get the slides memo?
No, I mean, that we were doing a bit. For
Dude,
that.
it's summertime. Like
It's 55 degrees outside right now.
That's close enough.
Not for me. All right, Dennis, what are we talking about today?
So, a really, I don't know, some would call it a cool car. I have mixed opinions about this. But there was a car that was revealed at SEMA this year called the Doughboy Chevelle. Have you seen this one yet?
I have. Straight out of SEMA.
So yeah, it was built by Blazing Rods. They have like a whole YouTube series on it. So if you want to go check that out, make sure go hit them up. It's worth a watch or two. I'm curious, like, okay, so if you've seen it, what are your thoughts on it? So, and first let's cover what it is for those who might not be up to speed on it. So this is a custom built
almost 100% custom.
Yeah,
let's not pass that along.
Yeah, it's a resto-mod kind of pro mod setup. Chevy Chevelle, 1970. At its heart, and this is where it got my attention. It has a 540 cubic big block Chevy engine with twin turbskis. Yeah, it's got all the bald eagles and all the freedom just
also,
screaming
the video
through
I watched,
it.
I'm pretty sure it's a Ford. It's not a Chevy engine.
Okay, I may have to go look that up because I thought it was
I remember
a 540 Chevy motor.
He said something about, he was like, and there's a Ford engine. But yeah, while you're looking that up, confirm that.
Wait, hold on. 2,800 horsepower.
2,800 horsepower.
Let's throw that out there. 2,800 horsepower.
That's what caught my attention. 2,800 horsepower in a Chevelle that looks straight out of, if you had mixed John Wick and Cyberpunk and put it together.
Yes.
This is what I would see. Yeah. And to add to it, the car itself is almost 100% 3D printed. Almost like, I think they said 80% 3D printed. That is insane. First of all, when I think of 3D printers, I think of little knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, plastic bullshit. and I don't think of,
unless you're a Buddy Jason, and then it's every single sci-fi gun from every single video game and sci-fi movie ever.
Yep. But the video I watched, I want to try to find who did it, because he did a really good video overview of it when it showed up at SEMA. It was completely, almost, I think he said 90 to 80% custom. Basically 3D printed the entire front end, I want to say it was the side exhaust they 3D printed that. They 3D printed the inlay and intake that you can see on the front out of carbon fiber inlay. It was insane. The amount of 3D printed stuff and what they CNC'd and did outside of this car specifically is insane. And it looks so cool. Like, I'll flash some photos on here. The fenders are what really caught my eye, man. The way they tucked the wheels in and it cut in and made like a wide body kit. And he was saying in the video that the actual car itself, there's only like the A-pillar and part of the door are the only stock part of this entire build.
I can see that. I mean, there's definitely a lot of custom parts on it. And I have like, I love the concept of that. I love like coming up with an idea, taking it to CAD, going out and it's not all just 3D print stuff. Like they had to hand mold a lot of the sheet metal parts. Because when I started looking at it, I thought, like, okay, well, they just 3D printed a bunch of carbon fiber stuff and threw it on the car. No, like there's a mix of sheet metal and carbon fiber on it. And it definitely, like, the Brodix 540 is a huge power plant to put that in. Then shoving twin turbos on it and getting 2,800 horsepower. Back that with a 6-speed. Like, that is just, it's an amazing combo. Here's where we might get into a debate. I hate the way it looks.
Really?
I do not like the way it looks. And look, I have respect for the craftsmanship and the build
every aspect
and
of it.
coming up with their own pieces. I do not like the way it looks.
Really?
It just, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
I think it looks like a Chevelle in this day and age. I think that's what they hit on the nail. And in the video, they did just say that why they did this was because they tried to build a pro mod setup that could be driven every single day and look good. And so that's what they did. They put a luxury interior in it. They did a roll cage. They made a full pro mod. The thing makes 2,800 horsepower. You can take it to the drag strip, but you can also drive it every single day.
I wonder, like, look, most SEMA builds that I've ever seen in person, like I just recently got up close to an actual SEMA build. It is so glued together.
Hmm.
And that's what I hear about a lot of SEMA builds is like most of them just they get them built just enough to roll them onto the show floor. And like if you start looking really close, like you'll see like shit's taped on. There's like wood screws holding things together. Like
Did you do any research on this car?
I did do research on this car.
That is completely the opposite of what they actually did.
Okay. I
So
said I was wondering,
okay,
like,
yeah, okay, yeah. I'll stop you right there. No, so that was the biggest thing. Is yeah, they said the exact same thing in the video that everybody that brings a SEMA car is like it's pieced together. It's thrown together just in the last 6 months to a year. But no, they took a full year and built this car pretty much brick by brick. And I don't remember exactly what brand they were talking about, but everything was machined to like match apart. Like it was specifically built to look as perfect as it could be. And so if you go and look at some of the video or the photos of the actual like pieces of the car, you can see in there like every part is designed specifically to fit perfectly. Even the firewall was 3D printed to match the build of the engine. So the engine actually sits in it perfect. Yeah. And so even the fuel tank, that back fuel tank part right here, the diffuser,
Yeah.
that is the entire fuel tank. It's built in. It's a whole piece of I think they said aluminum steel or something like that. Anyways, they designed this to be the actual tank under it and not sacrifice the trunk.
oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a one whole piece, and yeah, so that was their goal. And what they were saying is they were trying to build something that is like immaculate to the
Hmm.
point where like there was nothing out of place. It looked like it was supposed to be exactly how it is. And I think they did a great job. I mean, I get it, it's not for everyone. The look is definitely, not for everyone.
Well, and I saw a couple of the videos, and yeah, I mean, like one of them. Look, I appreciate the build. I love the quality of it, and I do always love the work that goes into something like that. But I mean, even some of the guys that were working on it weren't entirely in love with the direction that the car looked. They're doing this as a showpiece,
Mhm.
as something to show that the extent of their work and what they can go do. And so yeah, I mean, look, I don't love the way that it looks, but I appreciate the work and the dedication and just yeah, the eye for the detail. And yeah, like looking deeper into the pictures you're pointing out, this definitely wasn't like the typical SEMA build where
No.
things are being held together by Elmer's glue. But yeah, I think it's almost too futuristic for what a Chevelle is. Honestly, what really kills it for me is two things. It's that front air dam
It's
and
a little excessive.
and the fact that it doesn't have a hood.
That's also a little excessive.
Yeah, like that. I
Yeah.
mean, and they have like it looks like almost like vents or ducting that goes up through the motor. Like it's meant to provide downforce, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming it is. What? Yeah, make a hood. Like just make a
Yeah,
hood and have
so
those plug
I
into it.
mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from. The hood's missing. It feels like it's kind of like unfinished. Like that's how I felt about it. But I did see also, so the intakes are actually in the fenders. They're through the headlights. So the headlights, the rings, that's actually intakes, and they go
Okay.
straight into the engine. I don't remember exactly. Maybe we need to look this up. Exactly what those dams are.
Well, they
But
look like from the pictures I'm seeing, they look like air intakes that shoot air out from the top of the car. Which I mean, like cars like the the
yeah,
old GT 500, the 2013 14, they had a similar thing where like could suck in air from the front, push it out the front of the car, and at high speeds, it would actually provide downforce on the
yeah.
front of the car. So that seems like something similar here, but it just without
It
a
looks a bit
hood.
much.
Well, it looks like a bit much without a hood. With a hood on it, we really would have cleaned that up,
Yeah.
and you could still integrate those into the hood and cut something, cut a design in the hood to have those still go through. And I think that would have probably sealed it for me. But yeah, the other thing is that front air dam. That's almost too wicked JDM appearance for me. And even on a JDM car, it still wouldn't look good. Like it's too outlandish.
I don't know. I like it. I like one. That's another thing. I like the uniqueness of it. I think not a lot of people do these heavy, like, front big air dams because, like, it's been overdone a little bit
Oh yeah.
and it's kind of overplayed. But, like, yeah, again, back to your point, it's a lot of JDM styling, but I think it looks good on this car. I think they did a really good job at incorporating something like that on a Chevelle that nobody does. You'll never see a Chevelle like this ever again.
No, absolutely not.
Because nobody does that. And so I also wanted to show you this. So this is a completely 3D printed, a stainless steel downpipe for the turbo, and then another inlet. So it comes out right here, and in the back, that is also 3D printed.
That's
That
cool.
entire
I do like
exhaust
I do like
manifold.
the way that the exhaust tips are like worked into the fender
Yeah,
and they put a design on them.
it looks clean.
yeah, no, it's a lot cleaner than just having, two exit pipes coming out the side of the car.
Yeah. The fender intake is specifically for the turbos.
Gotcha. So
It
yeah,
is twin
those
turboed.
those two middle funnel looking things, that has to be for downforce.
It may be intercooler.
It looks like they're coming
It looks
off
like
of
it
the
comes off the
radiator.
radiator. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like maybe like an intercooler piece that like cools the
Yeah, I
radiator.
mean, they may do both, where it's pulling air through the radiator and the intercooler, but instead of pumping it back into the engine bay, it goes out the top. Again, I love the concept of it. I don't like the way the way that
Yeah,
part looks, and it would have been better if they just went ahead and put a hood on it. I mean, it may have been come down to like they just ran out of time.
yeah, it really could have been. I think it was definitely a statement piece too because it's all carbon fiber.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it looks just in your face. It looks like I kind of look at it as like almost like a duck bill, like really straightforward face duck bill, which
I
I don't hate. Honestly, I don't mind it not having a hood because they did something in front to make it look like it's not just missing a hood.
yeah.
Do I still think it's missing a hood?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will say so, and this is kind of weird coming from me. Like the one part about this car that I'm absolutely in love with is the steering wheel because it almost looks like a Bugatti steering
Yeah.
wheel. It is very clean. Yeah, make sure you flash a picture up there
Oh, I will.
because yeah, I love the integrated controls. I love the flappy paddles on it. It's just a very clean look to it. It doesn't look like something that you just went and pulled off the shelf to
Yeah.
throw in the car. Like they obviously took some thought and design into even the smallest detail, like the steering wheel of the interior.
Yeah, and so they actually talked about this in the video as well. So that entire interior was designed and done by another company who does 3D printing. Every single part of that interior is 3D printed.
Even the leather wrap stitching.
I don't know about the leather wrap stitching, but
Okay,
every
are they
the
3D
dials
printing
and
cows
stuff.
now?
I mean,
Look, you're making claims out here,
I,
so
I'm just telling you what they
curious.
told me in the video. Just saying, all the dials, knobs, dip daps, and dilly whacks are all 3D printed.
Let's go ahead and let's throw a patent on dip daps and dilly waps.
Yeah, you're
you heard
welcome
it
for
here,
that.
folks.
That's
Dip daps
sticking.
and dilly waps.
I just come up with the most random shit. Dude, seriously, my vocabulary is all made up words. It's great.
It's hard to follow though.
Can you assuage me
Actually, the
can you
ketchup.
assuage me the ketchup?
I don't even know if I'm using it right.
I don't know if you're using it right either, but yeah, no, I mean, again, to kind of summarize the video, again, this car was something that stuck out to me on all the other SEMA cars because one, nobody has done a Chevelle like this. And it probably will never be done again. To the amount of customization and what they did to it. Does it look like a Chevelle still? Yes, and I think that's why I like it so much.
It keeps the essence of it. Yeah.
Keeps the essence of the old school Chevelle look, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But also takes a lot of incorporation of new stuff, new enhancements, new technology to utilize and make it something extraordinary. And I think if I saw this on the street, dude, it'd stop me in my tracks. Like I think it would
Absolute
look
head
so
turner. Yeah, I mean, look, if you saw it on the road, you definitely have to look twice at it. Is it my cup of tea? No, and I love
Like,
resto mods.
Look at that side profile.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that is
I
an insane side profile.
I love resto mod cars. This one is just, I mean, and again, it is a SEMA car. It is supposed to be over the top. It's too over top
It was
for
built
my
to be
taste.
flashy.
But I mean, again, I respect the craftsmanship and I respect the ideas that went into this, and I respect the attention to detail. That's why I think my favorite part of this car is the steering wheel, because you can obviously tell that they put some thought and detail into it versus going and grabbing a grant from eBay and throwing
Yeah.
it on the stupid.
Yeah, so and if it was even if the steering wheel was 3D printed, that's even more insane. Like if they printed
Oh
I know
yeah,
he was saying like all the dials and stuff, but like if they actually truly did the steering wheel and everything, that to me is insane. And then even like the back, man, because like when you look at this car from the back, it looks like a ship from the back.
Mhm.
That is all 3D. That is all custom. Like that is not from the original Chevelle. which is insane to me. Like
Well,
they did
and
such a good job at like taking a lot of the essence from behind, like the past, and incorporating it into the build, but not taking parts from an old school Chevelle.
Well, and keep in mind, like even some of those body panels, like the fenders and the trunk, those are still formed sheet metal that they did themselves. They didn't go buy resto-mod parts. They didn't go to Year One and go order a trunk lid.
Yeah,
Like they
it's
they
all
went in
custom.
and formed their own trunk lid. Still kept the essence and the look of the original Chevelle, but molded it to the dimensions and the curves that they were implementing it. So yeah, hats off to those guys. Like that is it's a beautiful build. Again, it's not something that I would probably jump in and drive, but it's definitely a good looking car.
I mean, honestly, out of everything that was at SEMA this year, I think it stuck out the most.
All right, from both of us here at Petrol Station, again, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Wes.
Please take the time, if you've been here with this video for this long, go ahead, just hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out and it also helps you out and lets you know when we post new videos on a weekly basis. So from both of us here, again,
Like and subscribe. Like it, subscribe it,
like it, subscribe it.
polka dot it.